Hi everyone. So, I I usually try to stay with topical issues, things that resonates well with me. And so, I've been looking at the recent changes with the Department of Education. So, as you know, the Department of Education, they recently officially decided, even though they said it has been there before, they said that they officially decided that nursing, including advanced degrees like Masters of Science in Nursing, NP, CRNA, DNP, a nursing PhD, that they are like, they said that it's not a professional degree under the new federal definition, whatever that means. I think as nurses, we need not to go into panic mode, but instead figure out how we're going to allow this thing that we call our profession, that they said it's no longer a profession, how we're going to let it work for us and not allow the system to trigger us to be panicky and get stressed out and not moving forward with getting a higher education. Okay? So basically, what this means for universities and future nursing, honestly, it has been alarming for many people. Like a lot of students, a lot of nurses are discussing it. I think the impact mostly for nursing schools, like universities. I think basically, for most nursing programs, they do rely on financial aid. They do depend on federal funding. But with this change, I see that where students and graduate nursing programs, they are now facing like drastic cuts in loans. Like, for example, they said now it's like a little bit above $20,000 per year, and the max is like 100,000 in total. And they usually have this grad plus loan that's no longer a thing. So for most advanced nursing program, the cost is far more than what this budget is for. So essentially what they're saying is people that looks like me and people that are middle income earners, we are going to get what the duck get if we do not let this profession works for us, right? So I see where when I look at it in general, it basically is saying university will lose some of their students, because if you cannot find the funding to go to school, they're going to lose their students. You're going to have a lot of dropout, which basically with this administration, this is what we have been seeing. You will see like a fall in enrollment, because if you're not going to able to get that funding that you usually get for student loan from financial aid, you're not going to want to go to school unless you're going to go take out a higher interest loan, which you're going to pay until you die. So you will see some revenue drop, and for the smaller universities, they might be forced to shut their doors, because there will be less masters of nursing being trained, who are essentially, some of them are educators. You will find less DNP, less NP, and even RN programs. Don't look at this as just NP programs. RN programs will be affected in some way, shape, or form. What you can see also, as you know, there's already a national shortage of nursing faculty. When you look into a lot of these nursing programs, they have tutors are short. It doesn't matter what they want to say, they have shortages in tutor. And with fewer nurses able to afford higher degrees, there will be even fewer educators. Without enough faculty, schools risk failing their accreditation, just like how you have the hospitals that they are magnet facilities and they have to keep up with certain standards. It's the same thing for universities, and they will essentially not meet those accreditation standards, so their doors will eventually have to shut. And for that means that RN seats, because they will have no tutors, so there will be fewer RNs, fewer NP seats, and fewer nursing pathway overall. So don't just look at this as NP. I hate when I hear people just hitting and no, we all will be affected if we don't do what we can do with our profession and make it works for us. One of the twists I've seen is this decision doesn't just impact the schools. When you look at it, it's not just the schools. It changes who will enter the profession of nursing. Who will enter. So if students can't borrow the money or get enough funding for grad school or for school, and only wealthy students will be able to afford it, or wealthy people will be able to become NPs or CRNAs or DNP or PhD, then you will have fewer nursing leaders. You will have diversity dropout. So people that looks like me, people that look like me will be dropped out, opportunity drop out, and you will have underserved communities that will lose providers that they usually rely on. Because if I am an NP or I want to study for an NP and there's no program that will facilitate me because I cannot get the funding or there's not enough scholarship to help me with funding, then I won't graduate. And as much as this reclassification thing, it's political and it happens everywhere. In Jamaica, we've seen reclassification. It's like pinning doctors against nurses, because it's what you do on paper versus what you do when you're in the clinical settings. And that's the issue. That's the real issue. Because as nurses, we want to be paid equally for what we do. But on paper, it's a different thing. But when you go into the clinical settings, you have the man at the top that will say, do this. And when you don't do it, you get retaliatory treatment. You understand what I'm saying? So all of these things are taken into consideration. When you look at the impact in the healthcare system, as I said, communities will be affected. With fewer advanced practice nurses, with fewer faculty, you won't have providers, DNPs, you won't have any NPs, you won't have any educators. You will have staffing shortages in the universities. They will worse. And in rural communities, they will lose their clinics. So I don't know who sits down in these meetings for policies and they make these decisions without thinking about what they're doing. But whatever they're doing, hopefully, and I'm sanctioning all nurses and your family, your friends, your ex, all of them, tell them go sign on any site, American Nurses Association, there's a link there. Go sign that petition. If you want to be a part of what they're doing and you want to make sure that this does not impact you negatively, go sign that petition, because they're the advocacy the body. They are advocating on our behalf. So guess what? Go sign those petitions. When I look at everything overall, this is more than financial aid and policy. This decision, it threatens the entire nursing pipeline. The entire nursing pipeline, the entire healthcare system will be affected. They used nurses during COVID. No, they don't need us right now. But with everything that they're doing, they will see the impact. They will essentially see the impact and how it will affect our profession, how it will impact healthcare healthcare in general. And if you're a nurse or you're a nursing system, now is the time for you to pay attention. Pay attention to what is going on. Share information and protect our profession. If you love the profession of nursing, do everything within your power to protect our profession. Go sign those petitions. Be a part of the conversation. Be a part of the change. Don't just allow people that are not at the bedside, people who are not the core people of nursing, to make this decision for us. Don't panic. I have seen nurses that work bedside. They use their salary to fund their children's to degree programs, through entire universities. Don't panic. It's not time to panic. It's time to put things into action. Go sign the petition, be a part of the conversation, be a part of what's going on. And, just stay in the know, because one person alone cannot make this decision. This is a body. That's why it aggravates me when I hear nurses tell nurses, do not go back to school because it's not relevant. Who are going to sit in these meetings? Who are going to be the policymakers for nurses? If it's for you, do it, because we need nurses in position to help make these decisions. To when they're saying they're making these decisions for nurses, we have somebody that will go there and bat for nurses. So stay strong, nurses. Let's go sign those petitions and know that it's not just one person. Get all your family to go sign those petitions, because it's not only nurse practitioner, doctorate in nursing, or PhD nursing will be affected. The entire nursing program, nursing fraternity will be affected. Just look at it on a broader picture and not just at one level. No. Look at it broadly. Everyone will be affected if they do this, because I know personally I'm not going to take out a higher interest rate loan that my children and their grandchildren will essentially have to pay off. So let's do what we need to do. Don't panic. And don't let this deter you from going back to school. We're in a profession. It's multifaceted. We can do so many things that will send us back to school, that will help to advance us. So stay blessed, nurses.